question is, are you ready?
What do you guys want to talk about?
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
Throwdown Nation, we are live. It is a Tuesday night. We are rolling on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter/X, on Facebook, and on Twitch. It is episode 133 of the Throwdown, and today we are throwing down with Georgia-based pro wrestler, the Crashout Cutie, Alexandra Quinn. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. Yeah.
Awesome. And for those of you that are watching this live, if you have questions or comments, just throw them in the chat and we'll either handle them as we go or do a little Q&A at the end. So we'll go ahead and get started with the first and the most obvious question, and that is, how long, ma'am, have you been wrestling?
So I started wrestling on the last week in November of last year. So I believe that it just came to 7 months. I think this is the last week of this is the last week of June. So yeah, it just reached 7 months now.
Gotcha. And I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Who trained you?
Oh, my wrestling father, A.R. Fox, you know? That guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, I've had a lot of the WWA 4 folks on here, man, and I will say it every single time. Fox has a ton to be proud of. You know, you guys represent yourselves and the school so well. I mean, virtually to a person, everybody I've had on here from the 4 has just been top notch. And, you know, that says a lot about the way Fox trains y'all, because he's producing good wrestlers, but he's also producing good human beings that represent the school very well.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry. But what happened is he's, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But yeah, we're just a big family, honestly. Like we don't take each other like too seriously. And I feel like the main thing is that like we all have, I wouldn't say one goal, but more of just like we all share the same thing. We all love wrestling and we all want this to work out. And he's just a regular guy, you know. He treats us good. He doesn't treat like he's better than us or anybody else is better than each other. And so I feel like the one thing is that like we all try to stay as humble as possible. And, you know, because there's always somebody that is better or working as hard. And so I don't know. I always try to keep that in mind.
Absolutely. So when you were getting started with your wrestling training, What was the most difficult aspect of professional wrestling for you to wrap your mind and body around?
I not comparing myself to others.
Right.
Yeah, that was a huge part of it, and I still like struggle to. I still struggle with it because when I first started, I was like one of like two or three other girls. The other everybody else was just men, and they're all like bigger, stronger. They can do like black backflips and 450s and all this stuff, and I'm just like, it's like, oh, that's cool. I like, and so like, I'm like, dang, am I ever gonna like, how far can I make it without being as strong or athletic? Like, what makes me stick out? And so that was when I first started. That was one of the main things that I struggled with.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, you know, prior to doing professional wrestling, do you have any background in other types of athletics? Did you play any sports in high school, that kind of thing?
So, um, I wasn't able to do sports in high school because of so I was like in a family of like seven, and I'm like the oldest daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So my main responsibilities outside of school was to take care of the house and my siblings
Gotcha.
because my parents were always working. So I was
Right.
never able to join clubs in high school. But before that, I did dance, I did track, and I did cheerleading. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked my body to the core doing those. So, like, I still have aspects of those. Sometimes I don't really put it in the ring too much, but I think it's because I'm still kind of new and I'm still trying to learn my way on like how to implement it. But like also I be just a scaredy cat sometimes. I just be a scaredy cat, which is my fault.
Gotcha. So, I'm presuming that you've been at least a fan of wrestling the majority of your life. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what would you say is your earliest wrestling related memory?
Uh Funny enough, my earliest wrestling related memory is has to do with my favorite wrestler. My favorite wrestler is Brian Danielson. He's always been my favorite wrestler since I started
Oh,
watching wrestling. He
he's
was
awesome.
yeah, like I get a lot of inspiration from him. Way too much inspiration. So my first one was SummerSlam 2012 when he wrestled John Cena, and
Hmm.
then Triple H turned on him and Randy cashed in and became champ, and that whole Yes movement happened. I think I was like 11. I think I was 11 when that happened, and like I was just set. I was set after that. I was set for life. I was set for. I was like, this is amazing. This right here, this is great. That guy, he's great. So like,
Yep.
yeah. So
Yeah, I was around that same age when I started watching wrestling. I was around 11 as well. And I was a kid in Florida. This would be the early 1980s. Um, and the first feud that I remember seeing, and this was Florida Championship Wrestling with a guy named Gordon Soley doing the commentary. Like I said, early 1980s. And the first feud I remember was Dusty Rhodes and Kevin Sullivan. I mean, I was hooked. And, I've been a fan, varying levels of fandom at different points in my life, but it's always been a part of my life, like I said, since I was 11, and I'll be 56 in September. So,
oh, oh yeah, that's way longer than me.
So, yeah, I mean, but it's been a really cool run because I've gotten to see a lot of things really as they happened. Like I got to see the whole Monday Night Wars start to finish, saw, ECW come and go, but man, right now is one of the most exciting times that in the business that I can remember, just because there is just so much content out there. It's hard to find time to watch it all. It's
You're right. You're right. Because
so,
I wasn't really, you know, like I wasn't really there. But like there was a time that like the only like big wrestling promotion was WWE, and now
right.
like I can go like and there's so many different promotions now that I just watch to learn. Like honestly, like it's hard to just watch wrestling to well, I enjoy it, but like I'd always be like dissecting everything and like every other promotion, and because like every promotion has like its little differences, and like you just gotta
Hmm.
like, and I just love just analyzing everything. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and with so much being out there now, there is literally a flavor of wrestling for anybody out there. You might have to look for it a little bit, but it's out there.
You're right.
So, speed round.
Oh no.
Kenny Omega.
Oh, one of the goats.
Yeah, for sure.
Inspiration.
For
Yeah.
sure. I mean, it has been so cool to see him come back from diverticulitis and still be operating at the level he's operating at. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, that's a real inspiration. I actually had diverticulitis myself about 7 years ago,
Oh,
and ended up having the same surgery that Kenny did. And with a few minor dietary changes and everything, I've not had any further problems. 7 years later, but I feel kind of a kinship with Kenny because I feel like we're diverticulitis brothers. So
yeah. I he was actually one of the first. Okay, so when I was trying to branch out of WWE, he was one of the first wrestlers that I've discovered, and I was watching like I feel like the matches that everybody have seen by now, him with Okada,
oh
and
yeah,
like I was I was eating all that up. I was like, this guy is just going for an hour, and
yeah.
still going crazy. And
Yeah, going for an hour and not, and it's almost like he doesn't even break a sweat. you know.
it's like, and he's getting older now. Like I think
Yeah.
he's getting close to. I don't know if he's getting close to 40 or he's past 40, but he's still like so. In my opinion, I still think he's one of the best. And
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to say Kenny is either 40 or 41. I'm not exactly sure on that, but I think he's right around there.
and
So,
he's still moving like he does. Shoot,
oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
crazy.
So, away from wrestling, what are some of your other hobbies and interests?
Oh no. So I okay. I'm kind of a nerd, like a
Aren't
huge.
we all?
So like I watch and I collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Um,
Okay.
I read and collect like graphic novels and like comic books and stuff like that. I watch a lot of horror movies, but like I used to want to be a screenwriter, so a lot of times I would watch horror movies to like dissect it and like find out like in a director's side like what could have been better and stuff like that. Uh, it was oh geez. Um, I don't know what else do I do. I just do that a lot. I watch a lot of
Hmm.
anime tattoo. Well, you can't even see it. I don't know. I can't. But like, yeah, I do that. Uh, um, I write here and there. I used do that a lot growing up. So I'm just a giant nerd. Yeah, I feel weird saying it out loud. And I watch wrestling, of course. Mm-mm. Hello. Uh, um,
I think maybe we're back.
Hello.
Hang on just a second here. I'm just trying to figure out what in the world happened. Shoot. Yeah, we had a power blip here, and it basically we lost internet, and it took a few attempts to get it to come back. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get everything connected back here. Aha. Okay, so where were we?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot.
So
I don't know where it could off.
well, we were actually talking about your other hobbies and interests, and
Oh,
so following up on all of that, we're mostly a wrestling related show, but we do dabble a little bit into pop culture. So what are you watching or listening to right now? Are you watching or listening to anything cool right now?
Yu-Gi-Oh. I've been I watch One Piece when they a lot. I'm up to date, but like I still watch like their weekly Saturday shows. I watch a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. I usually do it while I'm doing something because I multitask a lot to keep me functioning. Uh, what else am I watching? I've been watching random indie movies. Um, I just finished watching like both Cabin Fever movies. The
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry, the writing sucks. It, it made me so mad. It made me so mad. Oh, uh, listening. It's kind of hard to say what I listen to. I listen to pretty much anything and everything, depending on how I feel at the time
mm-hmm.
and what motivates me to move, like to keep on going and stuff like that. So I can't really answer that question. But when it comes to watching stuff, yeah, I'd be watching like horror movies, random indie movies. Uh, yeah. Have I said Yu-Gi-Oh? Yeah, I watched that a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So outside of wrestling, what person inspires you the most and why?
Outside of wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
my dad. My yeah.
So, in general, what does your family think about all of this?
um. So I grew up in a very like conservative like uh Jamaican household,
Mm-hmm.
and so they weren't very supportive. I would say that's why. I'm sorry. But yeah, I kind of like I was because honestly, I was gonna start training in like when I was living with my dad. And he was like, "You ain't doing that while living with me." And I know I just said that he's one of my biggest inspirations, but that's like again outside of wrestling.
Yeah.
So But like, yeah, when I wanted to wrestle and I told my dad I wanted to wrestle, he was like, "You ain't doing that." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll just like, my mom lives in Georgia. I'll just move in with her and I can train with AR Fox, you know?" And I told my mom like, "Yeah, I wanted to wrestle. So can I like move in with you and like we can like start that? Like I'll pay for everything else." And then she was like, "Okay, Dad, that's fine." So I moved down here, and then I'm like, "Yeah, so like that wrestling thing," and she was like, "You ain't doing that," and I'm like, "Y'all making this so difficult." A girl, it's like, yeah. I don't know if that answers your question. Like, it was very like, yeah, they're like okay with it now because they can't do nothing about it.
Right, right.
It's
Have they come to see you wrestle?
no. I invited my mom. I truly did invite my mom. She was like, "Yeah, I'll come see you." She has never came. But my dad, he lives in a whole different state, so he.
Right.
But yeah, no, which is like fine. Like I don't. That's the one thing I had to learn. Like I don't do this for them. I do it for me. So like it's like yeah. So,
Right. So, you had mentioned that you're originally from New Jersey.
mhm.
So what was your favorite thing about New Jersey, and now what is your favorite thing about Atlanta?
uh, New Jersey taught me how to be tough. I'm not gonna lie. I was basically raised in the hood. Like it was a struggle. And like when I was going to school there and I would say I wasn't very, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I wasn't liked. It was just more like I just wasn't like everybody else and I was just being me. Like, I was like this awkward kid. Like I wasn't loud. I didn't like listen to I like it was like I don't know. It was just like I was just very different from, and then I was made fun of for that, and so it really taught me how to be tough. I'll say that, and also how to be smart about my environment because it can be crazy out there.
Oh,
But
for sure.
for Atlanta is honestly the one. It was actually kind of the opposite now because I moved here and I felt like I was around more open-minded people. So like I'm like, yeah, I like this and I like that, and they're like, oh, that's cool, and I'm like, oh, you're not gonna make fun of me for it. But also, it could just be because I'm adult now and like I'm around adults. So like, why are we like? Who cares what we like as long as we're not hurting nobody? But
Right.
there's that, and also wrestling. Even though New Jersey wrestling scene isn't bad like at all, but like I like again, I had to go somewhere completely different on my own just so I could wrestle because my family didn't want to support it. So yeah.
Got you. Got you. Speed round. Bailey.
Hugger.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to. I was thinking something else, Mike. I didn't want to say it. I was like, I had to think of this second. But yeah, she's kind of like we kind of have like similar gimmick. Well, what not her gimmick now, but like her first gimmick. Her gimmicks are low key kind of similar, just a little bit,
Got you.
not too much, but
Got you.
just a little bit. Yeah.
Got you. Well, right before right before everything kind of went out on us, I was looking over at the Instagram chat, and Salem's in there and said hello, and Jay Tyler was in there and said that he's your favorite wrestler.
Um, Yeah, he's pretty. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's up there. Yeah, he's up there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Actually,
Gotcha.
yeah, actually, it's embarrassing because like, so I'm sorry, but so before even before I moved here, I was actually following A4 before I started trading,
Hmm.
and so I knew of some of the wrestlers or like the trainees that are there before I started. So Jay was one of them. I knew who all of Fade was. I knew I knew Ariel Van Gogh. I just knew everybody. Rico, Teriyaki, of course. Like
Yeah.
that's just there's more people, but like those are like the main ones that like when I was wanted to wrestle and I was following A4 because I wanted to train there. Those are like the main people that I saw. So yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, they say that the best wrestling personas are usually yourself turned up to 11. So tell us about in ring Alexandra. Tell us about the Crashout Cutie and kind of compare and contrast her with everyday you.
Uh, that basically is low key kind of me, but like turned up to a million. I'm not gonna lie to you. Well, I ain't actually like because I'm actually like really chill. Actually, no, I have to say I used to be really chill because when I first started, I was extremely nonchalant. Like I didn't show much emotion, and like when it came to like selling, I'm just like, I just have a blank face or like ah. And so I had to like become over dramatic so I could actually a good wrestler low key. And and that was also kind of another reason where I kind of based off my character because my character is very loud and boisterous and kind of a little crazy, but like you gotta like kind of provoke her a little bit to get her to like get that little switch right there. And that's also kind of how I am in person because I'm pretty chill overall. Like even if there's an argument, I'll just be chill. Like I'll be talking to you just like this, but you just really got to provoke me and just say something that really get me mad. And yeah, I
Gotcha.
might crash out a bit. I try not to
Gotcha.
do it because um I can I can get really heated. I'd rather not get like that. I'm also from the
Right.
hood. I'm trying not to. I have that little. I try not to be my character.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So tell us about your very first match. What was it like? How did it go? What were your thoughts about it? Lay it on us. Tell us about the first one.
Okay. So my first match was in January. It was a scramble. It was it was Jay Tyler. It was Don Cameron. KJ Valentine, who's my bestie in and out of wrestling, and Vaughn LaFleur, who's also like in our little uh green squad. So uh yeah, so that was when I was like really trying to find out who I was as a character, even though I didn't really need a character at the time because I just debuted and it was like at like the school. But I was like, nah, I need to figure this out. And so it was what I did is that like so okay, another part of my character is that like I'm a fangirl. So like I'm a wrestling fangirl and I'm like actually wrestling. So I'm just like happy to be there. And the one thing I took is that because I knew Jay and Don before I started wrestling, I got into the match and they were like, who's this girl? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love you guys. And so like I was they were like looking at me crazy because I was just like, oh my gosh, Jay Tyler, oh my gosh, it's Don Cameron, oh my gosh. And so I'm like, and uh and so it went okay. I didn't really like wrestle them because like the whole point is like I need to be provoked to like actually like swing first. And they and one of my favorite moments is that like I uh I hit Jay and then I like apologized during the match. And I was like, wait, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And he was like, get the fuck off me. And then I just screamed at him and I just started hitting him a lot. I was like, I said I'm sorry. And then I was like, yeah, I just wanna like, yeah. And then
Gotcha.
I hit my just it was great. It's a core memory, even though I have grown a lot since then. It's just funny to watch myself. I'm very silly. Oh no, I just need to.
Gotcha. Well, KJ is actually over in the Instagram chat, and she said, "Certified crash out. She's not chill at all."
I'm super. See, they just dude. Look.
They're busting chops.
Yeah, I'm a very chill person. It's like they provoke me. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be so nice, and then they just they just get me started.
Gotcha. Well, we've heard about the first match. Now tell us about your favorite match that you've been a part of so far.
Okay, so there's two I had in mind.
Okay.
So one is my second match with Grayson. That was like my third singles match. And I'm not gonna lie, like, and I was just getting better at like just wrestling in general. I feel I was still like learning a lot. And I don't know, I thought the story for it was pretty cool because so he's like feuding with Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came out dressed like him in the match. And so we were just like wrestling, and he's like pissed at me because I'm dressed like AR Fox. And but in the match, like we didn't even have like a clear finish because in the match the lights turned off and then Fox kind of interfered and beat up Grayson. It was great. That was a good night. That was a good night.
No doubt.
Yeah. And like the second one I was thinking about, like this happened recently, probably like a couple of weeks ago. I forgot how long. But I had a triple threat with Spectre and Rave. The suckiest part about that match, I was hot, so like my lungs were burning, but like it was fun. It was. I took a chair shot. It was great. Yeah, we were just doing some crazy stuff in there, So that was pretty fun match.
Nice. I had Spectre on recently. He's a good dude. I had a really good conversation with him.
Oh yeah, he's great. I actually in that match, I was wearing his shirt in that match, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Frank, I love you. Can I join the match?" It was like, I just be tweaking just a little bit.
Gotcha.
Like,
So, if you could only be one, would you rather be great in the ring or great on the mic?
that's kind of difficult because you can be a great wrestler, but if you don't have any charisma or can't like talk yourself up, you're kind of just like, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
there's people that are not that good of a talker. I mean, they are good talkers, but not that good of a wrestlers, and they're over like super well. And so, yeah, like of course, like everybody wants to be a good wrestler, but like I feel like talking is like super hard. I can't even answer that. Part of me feels like on the mic, I'd rather be good on the mic. Yeah, because like think about it, like in my opinion, this is just my opinion, but like some are like the most over wrestlers are always like they were always better on the mic than they were better in the ring. Like The Rock and Stone Cold, like in my opinion, they were better on the mic than they were in the ring. LA Knight, I think he's better on the mic than he is in the ring. Even like Jey Uso, like you see, he's like you see his little like gimmick and stuff like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was a tag person, like, but like
Yeah.
because his like gimmick is over, and he's like okay in the ring, but like
He's better with his brother. I mean, he's. I mean, he's decent, but he's a better tag team guy than he is a singles guy.
yeah,
You
and
know,
they talk
just.
and their promos together were very good. Their promos together were
Mm-hmm.
good. So like I think that's why people are saying they're like one of the best tag teams because they were good on the mic together and they're good as a tag team together. So it was just like a full like so there's that. But like yeah, I guess I'd rather be better on the mic though.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
So, do you have an all-time favorite match as a fan? A match that it's like comfort food. You find yourself kind of gravitating back to it, and it just kind of has a special place for you. Is there a match like that for you?
I do. It's I forgot what year it was. It's an old ROH match. I think it's like 2007 or 2008. And I always bring it up. Like so it was a triple threat between Brian Danielson, Kenny Omega, and Claudio Castagnoli, I believe. And it wasn't like a traditional triple threat. It was one of those triple threats where you had to like only two people could be in the ring and the other person had to like tag in and
Oh
switch
yeah.
out. Yeah, it was one of those. Those don't really happen. Like those don't really happen, and they don't really make that much sense. But because the three of those people are like so good, like it didn't really matter. But what really gravitated toward because like again, I'm a huge like Danielson fan. So one thing that I love is like chain wrestling, and
Mm-hmm.
so when they Kenny and Danielson in that match chained for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like the whole match was like 20 minutes and they chained for 10. And then I was like in awe because like when they stopped chaining and like the cutoff happened, I was like, the match was like halfway done already. And like I didn't even realize because like I was just like in awe. Like it was just such a good match. And
Oh
I
yeah.
just, yeah, they're just some of my favorites. Yeah, just chaining around. So.
Yep. Yep. You know, I'm also a big Brian Danielson mark. I mean, you know, I've always liked the guys that actually can get down on the mat and wrestle, like you said, chain wrestle. And I also like the guys who actually have done at least some level of shoot martial arts training. Like Brian Danielson, last I heard, I think he's a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. And the guys that have done actual martial arts training, you can really tell just in how they carry themselves in the ring. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love Danielson. I like Kyle O'Reilly a lot, and he's got a jujitsu background, and just the guys that really can grapple and wrestle. I love seeing that. So kind of piggybacking off of that question, do you have an all-time favorite promo as a fan? Is there a promo that you just always have loved?
A promo?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. There is, I'm sorry, the only thing I could think of is the AJ Lee Pipe Pump promo, where she just tore the Total Divas a new one. I guess I don't know, I thought it was hilarious. I was like, I don't know, I think I was like 12 or 13 when she did that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, one of my favorites are like the old DX promos, like when they were like feuding with Vince McMahon and stuff like that.
Oh
Those
yeah.
were really funny. One of my favorites is when they dressed up like Vince and Shane, and
Mm-hmm.
they were just like, oh no, they were just, it was just hilarious. Like their stuff was, and the stuff they did with the Spirit Squad that was really funny. Um, the Rock promos, like Stone Cold, Kurt Angle's. Kurt Angles were really good. They were like mainly like comedy, but like I'm also kind of like I can't have like a single promo. I'm sorry. I try.
Oh, that's
There's
fine.
too many. There's too many. Like, so like yeah.
Gotcha. So, in your opinion, who are the best male and female wrestlers in the world right now? Right
Oh,
at this moment, who's the top man and who's the top woman?
okay. Oh no. Okay. Top man. I feel like it's kind of. I feel like it's kind of like if I say Brian Danielson, but he's kind of semi-retired, so I can't say him. Um, I would say AJ Styles. He's always been one of my favorites too. I think,
Oh yeah,
yeah. Um,
and he's a Georgia boy. You gotta love that.
yeah, Gainesville.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then woman. When you say wrestler, do you just mean like well-rounded or like just in the ring?
I'm just talking in general. You know, who do you think is the top right now?
Oh, geez, this is made it difficult. For woman, I'm thinking Tony Storm because her gimmick is. I really like her gimmick.
Yeah.
It's yeah. When it comes to uh oh Lord, I feel like I kind of want to change my answer for the man, like for the male, but like I can't really think
Go
of it.
ahead. I mean, if you want to change your answer, we've got all night.
Like yeah, Tony Storm definitely. Like I think her ring work works with her character, and I think her promos are very like gravitating. Like you just want to listen to her.
Right.
And geez, so like I don't know. I kind of like going for Kenny Omega too, but like those are just. I feel like I'm just. Those are just me being biased, honestly. Those are-
Well,
yeah,
everybody's got their biases.
yeah.
You know, somebody else I think is on an amazing tear right now is Osprey. I mean,
Oh yeah.
um, yeah. So, but so, and this can be present day or past. Who would be a dream opponent? Who would you love to have the opportunity to share a ring with?
Oh jeez. Oh Lord. I'm trying to think. Uh, AJ Lee. Victoria. I wanted to. I'm trying to think of. I feel like I don't. I don't know. I never actually thought that far. That's crazy. I never thought of that. I never thought of that. Um, Honestly, it's probably just like a lot of women that I looked up to, like watching wrestling. Like like Trish Stratus. I feel like that's like a main person. Trish Stratus. Lita. I loved her growing up. Victoria. Gail Kim. Uh,
Gotcha.
yeah. I'm sorry. I cannot have a single like just one answer. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. Looking over in the Instagram chat, Salem says that she's heard that you're a big fan of AJ Francis.
Salem needs. I'm gonna take Salem's phone away. Yeah, please don't listen to her. Oh, I don't know if you hear her.
I'm hearing laughter.
Yeah, please.
Oh, mercy.
like, but, yeah. Can we please move on?
Yeah.
Jesus. Jesus. Oh my gosh.
So, so what is your favorite move? What is something you just really enjoy doing? And on the flip side of that, is there a move that you won't do or you would at least rather not do? And that can be giving or receiving.
So okay, so I love doing the dragon screw. Like, but also that's just me just being a Danielson fan because he be doing
Hmm.
those dragon screws and they be looking devastating. So I learned how to do those. Those are one of my favorites, even though it's super simple. I also like doing my Michinoku driver, like when I like,
Hmm.
yeah, those are fun because I don't see. Well, I never saw like a lot of women doing them growing up. Some do it now, but like just like just anything that is like mainly like just manhandling somebody. Um, doing moves that I won't do. There's not that many because I'm pretty much down for it as long as I know how to do it or that person knows how to do it and receive it. Then I'll do pretty much anything unless I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to stick the landing. I really don't want to get hurt. But usually I don't
Yeah.
really say no to anything, honestly.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Have you picked up a Busaiku knee yet?
I got kicked in the face a couple of times. I
Yeah.
don't think that counts. Like, yeah. I've gotten kicked in the face a couple of times. If that, I hope that counts. It's
Yeah.
been.
Absolutely. So, you're still pretty young and pretty new to this, so this may not apply, but I'll ask it anyway, and that is, what hurts right now?
My knees, my wrist, my neck, oh my ankle right now, my left ankle. I know I'm pretty new, but like, I don't know. I try to wrestle a lot. Like I've been
Hmm.
working a lot. Like I don't know how many matches I have right now. I lost count because I'll be like, hey, I need to work. I need to do something. If I don't wrestle on the weekend, I feel like I did something wrong. So like, yeah,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
yeah, my knees definitely. If they're the main thing, my knees, both of them. I have to wear like compression sleeves and stuff like that. But yeah.
Gotcha. So, what is your take on the role that social media is playing as a promotional tool in wrestling, specifically indie wrestling?
Oh, I hate it. I'm not gonna lie. um, I'm not really a social media person, so it's kind of hard, and I have to constantly promote because it's not like because that's the whole point of like being in. That's the harder part about being an indie wrestler is that like we're trying to get out there so we can be known. So we have to like do everything and plug everything so we can get our name out there. And I don't like social media that much. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like a girl gotta do what a girl gotta do to like be able to make it. So yeah, I'm doing a like. I feel like when you're just like I don't want to say like a regular person, but just like a very chill person, and then you have to do such a demanding job, and it's not just wrestling, but you got to make sure that people actually see you wrestling. It's like you gotta put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Like I don't like taking pictures of I just don't like taking pictures of myself. And now that I have to like post videos of myself basically half naked for people to see, like that's terrible. That's terrible. It's like well like well, again you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, I just have to it's it's nerve wracking. I just have to brush it off and keep it pushing.
Gotcha. So, knowing everything you know at this point in your life, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Stop letting these people talk you out of your dreams.
Yep.
Like, and all, yeah. Well, not only that, but like everybody's upbringing is different as well. Like, I didn't realize, like, in my opinion, I feel like if my family was more supportive about the hobbies I want to do, even at like a super young age, I probably would have found my love for wrestling a lot sooner. Because even when I was a kid, I wanted to do like karate and stuff like that. But it was me, and I wanted to do amateur wrestling in high school. But it was because I always got you're a girl, you're a girl, you're a girl. Da 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 da. I'm just like, okay, okay, I'll just go home and cook. So like it
Gotcha.
was that, and like some other people were like some other like girls like that are in the scene right now have been doing this since they were a kid. They wanted to do this. They were like, "Hey, I want to wrestle," and their parents are like, "Okay." Like, I wish I had that privilege, but I didn't. But like, also, I'm trying not to like. It don't matter. I am here now, so don't. So that's all that's matters.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
So, do you have any pre-show traditions? Any things that you try to do consistently before you walk through the curtain?
Kind of stem around. I like move around a lot. Like I just start doing squats, and I just like close my. I kind of just meditate. I meditate, pray, and meditate. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, I get nervous a lot because anything could happen when you get in the ring.
Right.
And so I just close my eyes and I just try to like just lock in. Like I mean, like because like it's like my gimmick's a whole different person. We're basically acting, so I try to just take myself like me and just switch to my character. And then I'm just like close my eyes. And I'm like, okay, I'm Alexandra Quinn now. And then my music hits, and then I'm just like, yeah.
Gotcha. So, and this is just kind of a quick rundown. What all do you carry in your gear bag? Do you have anything unusual or funny or unique that you carry in your gear?
Uh, no, I'm pretty organized and plain. I'm not gonna lie to you. My gear, um, my knee pads, kick pads, uh, water, deodorant. I'm not trying to stink. Spray. Yeah, I'm very plain, and I just I'm be trying to take up space. I just got a new gear bag, so I couldn't even carry a lot. So yeah. Um, I carry like I be like the mom sometimes. Like I be carrying like medicine and icy hot, wrestling tape. Like everybody like they always come to me if they are in pain and they need medicine. They always coming to me. So yeah, hand sanitizer. I'm just like the mom. It's like kind of yeah. But overall, I don't really carry anything weird. I'm about to start carrying something weird now. It's like I don't know.
Well, if you were going to carry something weird, what would it be?
Oh, huh. I don't know. I have like a Rob Killjoy rubber ducky. Carry that around.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just like I'll carry my Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm gonna start doing that. Carry my Yu-Gi-Oh card, my Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I'm gonna start carrying that around. Be like showing
Might
people.
as well.
I used to do it actually. Like I should. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I used to carry my Yu-Gi-Oh deck around just to like to shuffle it and go through them like on my break and stuff like that. So I'm about to
Yeah.
I should start doing that when I go to
I've
shows.
given you some inspiration.
You have.
So something that we've done in all of these that's just been kind of fun is we've let the current guest pose a question for the next guest.
Ooh.
And my previous guest was actually he has been wrestling for over 30 years, and he was an ECW original, CW Anderson.
Oh.
Um, and the question that he posed is, and this would be a wrestler that is no longer with us, one that has passed away. If you could reach out and ask a wrestler who has passed one question, what would you ask? Who would it be, and what question would you ask them?
I would definitely talk to Eddie Guerrero because I believe that he was one. He was one of the best wrestlers, in my opinion.
No
Um,
doubt.
what would I ask him?
Yeah. But
Uh,
one question that you would ask for motivation?
for
What would you
motivation,
ask him?
what are like the sacrifices he took to get to where he was? Because nobody becomes like one of the best wrestlers that like overnight, or even like not even overnight, but like even in a couple of years. So like, just like what did like he do? Like, what are the sacrifices he had to take? I feel like that would be a question.
Yeah, it's interesting. Um, I was a huge Eddie Guerrero fan, and I feel like Eddie's passing was likely at least one of the contributors that started Chris Benoit's downward spiral. Because they were like best friends,
Hmm.
and I and I'm still a huge fan of Benoit the wrestler. I can separate what the guy did, how his life ended with what he was able to accomplish in the ring. And, I still feel like Chris Benoit is one of the best wrestlers to ever do it. Terrible human being. But, but yeah, uh, I do sometimes wonder if Eddie had lived, would things have been different with Benoit? And we'll never know, But
For him, like it's kind of this is a very like complicated and kind of difficult like conversation because everything that he has done. But also, I do agree. Like Chris Benoit, like if you just focus on the wrestling, he's one of the best. Because honestly, he was one of my favorite before when I first started watching wrestling, and I was
yeah,
watching a lot of like the old like 90s and 2000s. He was actually one of my favorite wrestlers until I found out. Like I found out after he became one of my favorites why he
yeah.
like, and I was like, oh. And he's it's very like ooh. um I forgot where I was going with it. Shoot. Oh yeah, also he had like a lot of issues before he passed. Like that's like also the reason when like Chris Benoit like passed away is when they really started taking like the CTE like
Yeah.
issue like more seriously because that man was getting concussed all the time. And then
Oh
he
yeah.
was
I mean, he wrestled a very dangerous style with the diving headbutts, and at the time they were still doing unprotected chair shots to the head, and
and
So
then
I
like
mean, the one good thing that came out of all of that was that the industry was forced to start taking head injuries seriously. So
yeah, that's like one of like the little ooh parts about it because like it wasn't just like the head injuries, but like the mixed with drugs because they were all doing drugs. Like,
right,
like it was, and that's like it was just really sad in my opinion. It's really
yeah,
sad.
absolutely. So since this is part of a series, do you have a question that you would like to pose to the next guest?
Uh, ooh, I don't. That's I didn't think of that. Uh, so the question could be when. Why do you wrestle? Like this? Why? Or like, why are you in this industry? Because, like, and I know it's kind of vague. But it's more of like, is there? You can't just like wrestling, you know.
Right. Right.
There has to be a reason.
So, how would you answer that? Why do you wrestle?
Why do I wrestle? Um, I wrestle because when growing up, I don't know, I felt like there was something missing with like even like I had all these hobbies that I was doing and it just didn't it never like filled like a void. Like I always felt like I had a void that I'm like that was just never filled and it always made me unsatisfied. And but when I was watching wrestling, like I was like, oh shoot, like this is like great. Even though like all these people, like my family was like, you know, it's fake, right? It's fake, and I'm just like, yo, I can't just like stuff. And growing up, even like when I was like elementary school, like it wasn't like wrestling that I wanted to do, but just combat sports in general, like
Hmm.
any type of combat sport. I was just like, I like this. And then, so it kind of just and unfortunately, it took when I was like basically an adult already to realize that like I wrestled because it kind of filled that void I've been missing my whole life. Because as soon as like I started wrestling, like everything kind of just clicked together and made sense. And I was like, this is what I've been missing. Like this is literally what I've been missing my whole life. So like, yeah.
Gotcha. So, we're pretty much at the end of things now. So, do you have any upcoming shows or anything at all that you'd like to give some hype to?
Uh, I have a couple showing up. I have. I'm going to Mississippi this Saturday for EPW. I have Kraken, like the first. That's in Tifton. It's like the first Sunday of next month. Um, what else? I have this other wrestling show. I forgot the name of it. I said that's so sad. But, I have one coming up in like Alabama and another one coming up in Mississippi, like in August and September. So like yeah, I got like a couple coming up. Oh, one in Athens in August as well.
Oh,
PW.
cool.
Yeah. So,
Very cool. Very cool. So, as far as what we've got coming up here on the Throwdown, um, next Thursday,
oh, sweet.
the third of July, I've got episode 134 with Zamir Zuriel, and I'm definitely excited to have him on.
Yeah.
And I've got some more scheduled that I'll be announcing in the coming days. So definitely, definitely keep an eye on my socials. And before we wrap all of this up, do you have any final words you'd like to say to the audience?
Uh, yeah. I just yeah. When it comes to like, I feel like if I didn't go to the floor, I feel like I wouldn't have stayed in wrestling that long because I've been in many different locker rooms in wrestling schools, and some of them are kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm glad that I made it to the floor, and there's like a lot of people that I have met and gone closer to. That I feel like has helped me keep the passion, burning. Because you can't do everything by yourself.
No.
So, yeah.
Well, very cool. Well, For those of you that have been watching this live, thank you. For those of you that'll be seeing this on replays and such, thank you for that. If you like what we've got going here, I've got a link tree in my Instagram bio that's got the links to all of my socials. So, take a trip over to those and do the old like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next Thursday, July 3rd, be good to each other, love each other, and let's keep throwing down.